Hello and welcome everybody to this YouTube video. My name is Wita, and this past weekend I got top 8 at them first Master Series Qualifiers of 2019. In this video, this is a stream rip from a stream where I'll be looking over some of the mistakes and the plays that I made, going over the games in my top 8 series against LMAO, and I will obviously be including chat in this, so if you want to get the full experience, I'll leave a link to the Twitch VOD in the description as well as to my Twitch channel, and you can follow that, which is Twitch TV ImWita. Sit back and enjoy the content. Any questions, I'll happily answer them over on Twitter, which is WitaCCG, or in the YouTube comments to the best of my ability. So sit back and enjoy the content. In the end of this game, which is I'm one of the oldest ever do it, one of the OGs, together with people like Boom's Life and Delude and stuff. Again, went back to this now. All right, so my thoughts for this lineup were really not that insane. I had no real there we go. So my thoughts on this lineup weren't really there. I just played decks that I thought were good or I was comfortable with. And that would be aggro sorcerer, or as I like to call it, mid-range sorcerer, but I guess this is more of an aggro deck. But the way that I played out is, generally speaking, pretty mid-rangey. My playstyle with this deck is a little bit different, as you may have seen already. Or I assume it's different at least. Also, pardon the absolute menace of a hair. I need to get a haircut sooner rather than later. Then I played this mid-range Daggerfall, which is a really weird one. I actually don't have the list at hand completely. It is somewhere, but like it was really weird. So yeah. And then I played Burn Assassin, and then my take on mid-range Dagoff, which is okay. It's more like a mid-range Battle Mage with like bread and cons and stuff in there. A little bit of a different take. It worked out pretty okay when I got to play it. It did lower a little bit, which we will be seeing in game number 1. So let's just jump right to the start of that. Okay. So you do get to see my mulligan decisions here. So I queue in to game number 1, and I'm happy about the way that I got the ring, right? So I get the ring. Did you get to see me mulligan here? I can't remember if I mulligan too quickly. So you get to see me. I get the Halala matchup, which I'm kind of okay with. This is a matchup that is probably my deck that I'm most hopeful about. So I keep. This is a full keep for me, by the way. So the way that I see it is that as long as it doesn't have the 4/4, I can ring out this Brotherhood Slayer and I can fight for board pretty effectively. So Rapid Shot. I just like to keep the Bandajari because it allows me to go for something on the board. Like it's a board presence, right? So let's just move on. I'm not sure where it goes to there. ELEMAYOROFL, generally speaking, uses a lot more time in the mulligan phase than I do throughout the entire series, and that it might have cost me a little bit. So we can see his opening hand right here is okay, right? If you had the ring, this game would have been over before it even started. We're talking Mournhold Traders, Legion Trainers, and Divine Fervor and stuff. So I put up Bandajari here, just get it in there. Good to go face. Nothing really to note here. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit because there's nothing to really talk about. So yeah, now your top deck's another Mournhold, and here I'm kind of like, okay, this is like what didn't have to happen. So I go for a little bit of a different play where I just go wider and set up a way for me to effectively trade into this. Then something happens, I'm pretty sure here. Yeah, your top deck's a Deep Wood Trapper. This is pretty much the winning moment of the series. I'm just going to slow it down a little bit again. For me, that's at least why I feel like he wins the game, because I have very few ways. Like, it's basically impossible for me to push through the Deep Wood Trapper and get rid of the 4/4. And this just means I'm going to be taking a lot, like 4 damage coming through next turn here. And he just goes for a Legion Trainer here now. And the problem about this is that I have to go for the Deep Wood Trapper, as well as Legion Trainer is a must-kill target, as well as the 4/4 is also a must-kill target. And I draw the Tatscat here. Had I drawn into something a little bit bigger, maybe like a Sentinel Battle Mace, Lightning Bolt, either of those cards would have been absolutely okay for me to draw right here. If I recall correctly, I go on to use the Rapid Shot. Yeah, there we go. I draw into a Bandari, which again, it helps me contain the board a little bit, right? So yeah, I do my trades here, go this, use the Steel Daggers right into the 1/3. So potentially I could have killed the 4/4 instead here, but decide to kill the 1/3 because I think that slow ball is harder. That potentially could have been a mistake, right? So I should have potentially killed the 4/4 instead. And killing the 4/4 would have given me more time, but I was so afraid of that 1/3 just running away with the game because of the ongoing effect from it, because the way that my hand was, it didn't really fight for board that well, and I guess maybe I should have just kind of waited, but right now I wasn't expecting to have a second Mournhold, because it's very, very unlikely given the fact that this is a 75 cut deck we're talking about. So yeah, this is kind of annoying. I think right now I am kind of forced to use the douche-nick because I'm going to hold on to this Halalu Sharpshooter. I use the 3/3 here. So he top decks the Withered Hand Cultist here, which gives him a really nice turn, but I can't remember if he goes for the fervor straight up, because I know that I get this douche-nick down on the fervor. I just can't remember when I did it exactly. So he takes out the trade and trades again to protect his 4/1 of course. And because of that, he just goes 15 Trainer and Withered Hand Cultist. And right now, I am so far behind on board that I'm probably forced to use this douche-nick for trading purposes. Or never mind, because I hit this. So right now here, I probably should have considered this a little bit more. So what I do is that I silence off the FLT, which is a problem, because now I'm committed to taking so much damage here. So what I could have done is I could have silenced out this and just taken 4 damage off the board from him, obviously. But what this also does is the fact that it blocks out any value trades as well, right? Because now there's no value trade on the board outside the 4/4, which I will never get to 4/4. So what are you saying? What the fuck to that? Did I do a bad play? I should have killed the 4/1 boom, or what are you saying? Like as I said, I played really badly. Like that's what I wrote to you on Discord, right? I threw games left, right, and center the series. So let's resume here. So now this is a further turn from my opponent here, for sure. So let's just beat this up as he plays his further. He just plays the further, and I'm like, okay, this is not great because the value trays that I fought to set up are just gone with no trace right now because of the further, which I kind of would have assumed he would play it, but then again, he had such a good turn. So he just goes in, gives me 2 cards. None of the cards that I get here are kind of decent. So let's just pause here. So what I could have done here is probably I could have done something else, but getting rid of the good old getting rid of that was just the most important thing in the world. Here right now I'm trying to set up some good trades, and yeah, but sure, but like that's my fault as well, right? Because this game is pretty much already over. I'm pretty sure I get to actually go pretty close to like pulling this game back. But like what I was the thing that I was thinking about, right? So my gameplay against Halalu is just to run them out of cards. Just like no matter what I'm playing with my mid-range decks, just run them out of cards. And the problem is here that the way that he just ripped his deck, and also this. Okay, so this is actually a pretty instrumental top decks for him because him getting this agent just allows him to get the trades he wants to, which is kind of annoying because right now what I've done here is the fact that I've protected this 1/1 in a sense that it's guaranteed to get a value trade no matter what. But the top deck here of the agent really this actually doesn't matter, I suppose, but it gets the trade that I wanted to get, which is the important part right now. This agent's gonna come back to bite me at some point, I'm pretty sure though. This turn coming up right now is also a little bit sketch. Because I could have done so many different things. He's gonna play the Puppeteer right now and just get on with his lives if I recall correctly. He might hold on to it, I can't remember. He roped his turn out. I remember at least he roped his turn out. So let's just speed it up while he does that. Alright, and pause. So okay, I'm not gonna pause. I'm just gonna. If we keep forgetting that like Twitch makes this massive pause overlay. So I have 8 magic to work with here. Also, hello, Aini. So I decided to go for an 8/8 here, and this is where the Acclimatization ends up messing me up royally because I'm like this 5/5 is gonna protect me, right? This is where I turn the game around because what I'm able to do next turn is I'm able to go down and go with Vigilant Ancestor and Cliff Racer just to fight for the board, like get back board, get God set up, and this is like where I'm thinking, okay, this is where I start to turn the game around. But the Archaeologist Agent just messes me up so badly when it comes down in a second here, just to block out my trades, that it really just means that I'm out of this game. So let's just do this here. He takes the guard for my 5/5. It just gives him, it allows him to push the 4 damage he needs, and it just means that he can just do stuff. Plays the third, by the way, this is the third copy of Mournhold Trail this game. Third copy. And we're on turn 8. Third copy. I could have played that too, but I decided to go for more of a greedy line that develops more bodies that I can actually proactively use. So that, again, that's just me making a mistake here, and I think I find a way for me to kind of survive here, if I recall correctly. Actually, no, I figured out that I can't survive, so let's just speed up and go to game number 2 here. So I'm just like, okay, so the thing is that I know that this matchup is a matchup I don't want to play the Burn Assassin into, because generally speaking, this deck goes too fast for Burn Assassin. At least that's my opinion on the matchup. I do end up winning that matchup as my only game win this series, which is, you know, food for a completely different thought. So let's just skip over Charmer and Dead Broken talking. They did, like, the casters did a great job, by the way. At least that's what I think. As a caster myself, I was pretty satisfied with what I heard last night. Obviously, I know Charmer was really good, but I didn't really know a lot about the others. I know Laser Edition was still really rough around the edges the last time around. This is interesting. So did I keep? Okay, what is with my hand this game? What the hell? What happened to the spectator here? Yeah, okay. So let's speed it up. Let's speed it up 1 second and see where this goes. So give me my hand. I didn't get to talk about my mulligan here. And there we go. Okay, so my hand here was Wardcrafter, and I kept something else with me. Again, he had a really, really strong start. He wasn't a ring here, which allows him to do a lot of things. And obviously my deck here is really greedy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, my deck is one of the most greedy ones in the setup. This game, though, I will say, this game already, before we start this, I made a lot of really bad plays here. I was really tilted. I was, like, nerves were getting to me. I was like, this doesn't happen. I'm just getting messed up right now. So he takes the trade here, goes face for another 4. This is the Emmerich. This is gonna come. This Emmerich's gonna be very interesting later on. So right now, I snap play the I snap play this, and then I play this as well. And obviously right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fight for board. I'm not trying to maintain my life total. If I was going super heavily for maintaining my life total, I obviously would have gone for like the snap on this instead. The shackle rather, not snap, but I shackle onto the Rift Vein. But aside, I'm gonna fight for board. I'm gonna try to set up a world where I can play Cradle Crush Giant, take the board, and hopefully stay less from there. But as we can see right now, Elemayor's hand consists of double Cliff Razor, and I was not ready for this Cliff Razor to come down and ruin my day like it did. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that as well. Like, I know that, like, the thing is that I love Justin. I feel like pretty much everybody in the TSL community loves Justin, but like he's a good content creator, but he should not, like, as a caster, he had clear lacks. Like, he had clear flaws, and I think that Justin was aware of this as well himself. So obviously here right now, I'm just gonna go for trying to maintain as my life total right now. I'm on the back foot. I have a Cradle Crush Giant. I'm like, okay, I can fight back this board here. Now, this turn I actually think is pretty interesting from Elemayo, because I'm pretty sure this is a turn where he goes for Crusader's Assault to just draw more cards. If I recall correctly. I mean, Justin had his moments. Let's just say that I've listened to much worse casters, and I've worked with casters that may have not been that good as well, like, bit worse than him at events that are great, like, we're like bigger. Like, obviously, Justin as a content creator is immense, and his community presence means a lot for the event. Obviously, don't get that. That's something we have to know when you're working out talent. And right now, the cast people like Silverfuse, Laser, DBN, they have worked a lot more for community presence, which I think is great. So yeah. So let's go back to normal speed. Actually, let's go a little bit slower here. So I go for. I can't remember what I go for here. This turn is actually where I missed. I think this is where I start missing out, by the way. Is this the turn where I go for Markov? Because I think that's the play. No, this is where I go for. So here I could have gone for the Markov instead, but I decided to go for, again, I'm going to try to get this out because What I'm hoping for here is for him to not have another charge, because with the way that my hand spaced out, I was in a position where I could hopefully start draining some more life back in this. And coming up in a second, you will see probably the worst misplay of the night, where I mess up my sequencing in a few turns, where I don't get to kill this Cloud Wrist off because I messed up like a massive idiot. So let's just speed this up even further while we see ELEMAYO go through. Alright, ELEMAYO goes with FLT, Deep Trap, and this I don't get me wrong, like I really love this play from ELEMAYO. This play from ELEMAYO is really good. And this top deck for me is the absolute uber nuts, by the way. This is the uber nuts top deck from me right now. Only draw that would have been better as well would have been Lightning Bolt. And I decided to not swing because obviously right now I'm trying to just holding off for cards. And like next turn is where I mess up royally here. So this next turn is a turn where I was physically just out and really messing myself up. And this steel semi is also really good for him. So he goes steel semi. I think he also goes Cloud Wrist trade, and then he just pushes for free here, which is fine. So what happens here is that I mess up royally, and I throw this game. Like, I win this game pretty much all the time if I don't make the stupid mistake that I make next time around. So this turn here is where I go through the motions, but I go through the motions in a wrong order. So my play here obviously is High Camera, kill this for 4, and then you just play North Firebrand, kill off this, you're good to go, right? But look at what I do. I trade in first, and I'm like, oops, you see me stop here now. Like, okay, I go for the douche stick instead. But what this does is that, while this is decent play, the problem is that right now, he just top decks another charge, and he gets the trade for free, and I just take 6 damage for no apparent reason. I don't think I watched Mayo's. I fell asleep doing the Mayo. I fell asleep at Mayo and Booms, and then I had to rewatch that today earlier. So yeah, this is kind of unfortunate for me. So like, this is where I throw this game, because I'm actually fairly confident in my ability to navigate this matchup. Normally, I believe I can pretty much navigate this matchup really well. But I messed up last night because I was tired, because obviously this is like around 9-10 p.m. for me as well. Remember that I had been up since 8 or 7 because I couldn't sleep because of the way that it's just too light and all that already. But that's, again, I guess right now I'm just fucked, because had I gone for the other play, I would have been where I would have had the 5 fights to trade out with that. I would have been able to put the battle mace onto my Barrow Stalker, and I would have healed for 6 instead of 4, and it would have meant that I would have won the game instead. But instead he just has lethal and swings for it. So this was just me throwing away the game here, and I'm really confident about the way that I built this Daggerfall deck would have pretty much tore the rest of his decks a new one. Because it just really preys on slower decks, because you just hold on for a few turns. I don't think he was running Hallowed Death Priest either. So you just play for a little bit of these slower turns, and then you just wham-bam them. You just kill them, right? But again, he just ripped charge. But again, I played that really poorly. So if I play that game better, I might have a chance of winning. I think it's a lose. But I have a chance of winning that game instead. So let's just speed this up as they go through. I queued these games up really fast. This game, though, is really interesting. The next one. This is where I play the Action Assassin. And don't get me wrong, I am not the greatest navigator of this deck in the world, and I make a few critical misplays that we will note as we go through the game. But I still end up winning because I hit a pretty nuts curve. But I think I made some good calls at the end of the day for this matchup. Oh, the hand bugged out again. Oh, that was not meant to clip that. Just speed up while they fix that. Yeah, you can definitely not see anything here. This actually makes it really hard for me to talk about. So I played Cunning Ally here, and I played Abyssinian Navigator first card as well. I'm pretty sure that the Navigator whiffed. as well, which is kind of unfortunate. But right now, I'm actually, in this position, I'm fairly okay with myself. I feel like I'm in a position where I can kind of survive for now. I feel like I'm in a pretty decent spot overall. So he plays on Deeper Tribal with the Steel Semi, which I don't really mind because of the trades. I top deck the Black Hand, which I'm going to use here just because this means that I can hold on to the cheaper actions in my hand and just take the trades. It's fine. They just play the Storm Battalion here. Right now, obviously I could have gone for Curse 5 I'll never do that. Just play out the Murkwater Scourge and go from there. I just net decked someone, Frankie. Like, I have had no time to play this deck out. I just played this list a little bit. I wasn't really not a big fan of it. But, yeah. Right now I have some time here. I give him a Fog Bolt because I need to draw more cards to get through my deck, and I didn't want to give him the Winter's Crest because obviously that's ultimately his time. But this is a time where I make a mistake, right? Because what happens here is that I open myself up to getting overdrawn, and given the current state of my hand, that's not a good idea, right? Luckily for me, Elemayo doesn't go for the overdraw plan. I'm not sure why he didn't do that, but he decides to trade out this, I think, which is a mistake on his part, because he could have overdrawn a very important card for me. So let's just speed this up. Because I have 8 cards in hand right now. He just swings face, he just swings face twice, and we're good to go, right? Oh no, that's right. No. It doesn't make sense. It's me ripping it. It's me ripping the bolt. That's right. It's me ripping the bolt. Actually, that's just me being an idiot. I ripped the bolt, which then means I don't overdraw. So this turn is pretty. So this turn was a lot of people debate about this turn. So most people here were talking about in chat that I should just grasp here. And what I'm thinking is that I can deal with this board without grasping. So what happens? So what's going to happen here if I grasp? So what happens? The thing that happens here if I grasp is that the board is still there. I'm not getting any closer to dealing with the board state. So what I do instead is that I have enough gas in my hand to still pop off. Should I find Market? Should I find Hexmage? Even if I use a little bit of it. So what I do is that I commit 2 bolts and I commit 2 curses, I believe. I start out with Ice Spiking though because I have the magic code left over to just do that, and I don't need to clear this entire board. I just need to buy time. And I know one of the cards in hand right now is a 0/2 token, so I'm pretty certain of my ability right now to maintain my board situation. So it does take a little while for me to really debate what happens if I recall correctly. Can I use the Ice Bag already so we can start talking? Oh yeah, start off by cursing here. That's true. I just pop off instead. Yeah, I hold the Ice Bag. That's my bad. I thought I used the Ice Bag. This time I use this Ice Bag with Hexmage at some point. And then what happens now is that he draws more cards, and people might be like, yeah, but the board that I'm gonna Winter's Grasp now, which is gonna happen. Spoiler alert! I'm Winter's Grasping here. It's a lot weaker, and like a lot of people here were talking about me actually going for the Shadow Marking instead. But to me, I just need to draw one extra card and just pray that it's enough. Because I don't really want to use my ring right now. I want to hold on to the ring because the ring will make it easy for me to pump off with a Hillandral next mage should I go for a turn like that in the future. And right now, I'm just going to go for Winter's Grasp here, just take away the 7 HP, and his turn is a little bit slow. He pulls the Oathman off, though, which is really good for him because he has the red and the green. Finds the raiding party here as well. Decides to go for that before going for Oathman, though. I'm not sure I agree with that one, but again, that's just me. He decides to play absolutely nothing, and I think that's a mistake. But what he's afraid of here is to debilitate, which I can kind of understand. It's like where things start to get kind of wild here. So I just go for Ice Spike alongside this Hexmage. Right? No, I used the Ice Spike last. I just play Hexmage and pass. So what I'm just debating here is I'm debating whether or not I want to. I'm used to Shadow Marking with the Hexmage, and then I just decided whether or not I wanted to do stuff. And I just, pop off, deal a little bit of damage, and then just make sure I have a defensive wall set up. And now I've doubled the Debilitate in hand with an Ice Spike. Yeah, so you would have dropped that and just taken the 7. I guess that's probably is correct for me right now. Again, I don't really know the damage I put, and I know that he has 2 Firebrands in hand, so he has to deal 10, which I'm not really sure would have been possible, but I wasn't taking any chances. He only runs 2 Sharpshooters in this list. I'm pretty sure. Like I think it was only the 2 Sharpshooters, which was kind of what I was making my decision based off of is the fact he only runs 2 sharpshooters. He ran 2 sharpshooters. I'm like, this is gonna stick. I just didn't want to take the 7 because I know that because he's gonna give me cards here, which I think is a mistake, by the way. I think that he should just try to see if he can set up a 17 damage turn, especially given the context of his hand, by the way. Because what this allows me to do is that I obviously would have pulled the Ice Spike the spoilers regardless, but the way that he played this out was just incorrect in my opinion, at least, because his hand is so full with burst that he can easily set up a turn where he just deals 17 to me without me having any counterplay. He's seen 2 bolts already, which is like the only defensive properties, and I just pop off because I hit the nuts. Yeah. And I just threw the nuts again. Like the closing out that sequence was just insane. Like obviously even without the second, but this game was like really that deck just really popped off, and like that game was disgusting. We was like, okay, sure, I'm getting back into this right now. I can do this. I can beat whatever he's gonna pull at me. And then this game is kind of unfortunate for me. I made a few mistakes here, but the mistakes weren't not really that apparent because it was very easy to miss. The other game here is very, very trivial in the way that I'm playing it out. I don't really have a lot more options of what I'm doing here. So you're gonna play Abyssy and Navigating next time, but he has the ring, which obviously sucks massively here. So this is where this kind of gets annoying me. So no, I don't think it's stupid. Like, the problem here about this, so I'm going to slow this down a little bit now. So I go for this play because I know there's only 4, like he has 4 support removals, but for me to win this game, I need that to not be a thing. Which I'm kind of, like, okay, cool, this is fine, I'm just going to pray. And he just has Barristalker, he has the, I like this play from him, obviously, because you just want to make sure I can't be able to heal him out, but like this is cool. Like obviously for me, this is kind of lucky that it hits that. What do I play? I play Scourge here, which I like because it just helps me hit support. And right now, this is where I lose the game. So obviously, there's a lot of options for me to lose the game in general. Just given the matchup is good for him, bad for me. But this is where I lose the game. The top deck that's gonna come flying off the top here is a. He top like a douche-neck right now, which is really unfortunate for me, and obviously really good for LMAO. For LMAO, right? As he just pulls that, and I'm like, okay, come on, just don't have it, because he didn't have it last turn. I just did that. In my hand, I'm just thinking, okay, he doesn't have that. I can just go for Swindlers and just start popping off here. So I had the hand assembled, right? I had the hand assembled to just, go for it here. So I just decided to, like, missing that also really frustrates me a lot because the turn that I set up I had in mind I would have been able to guarantee this as a 50-50 onto the 5-5. Luckily, I hit the second best target, but the Zoa here is really, really frustrating for me because it just means he just starts popping off on me, and I will draw as well right now, I believe. But thinking, like, if I had time to play, if you hadn't had the removal for the Swindlers, I would have had so much more time. Yeah, right, like, I also think that I was favored until he top-decked that, the douche-neck. I thought, I was like, okay, I have this game all out, because he doesn't have the douche-neck or the Shadowfen, because he only runs 2 of each. I'm like, cool, and right now here I have to just to make sure I survive a little bit, so just, slow it down a little bit, try to survive for a second or two. Because in my mind I have the spoils, I can probably do something, but I probably should have just gone for Lilandril Hexmage instead, and just held on, just hope that I didn't die, I guess, because it probably could have popped off. But yeah, again, it's just me. I'm not very great with this deck. I don't have whole lot of experience with it, which probably shone through a little bit. And here he just has the moves as well. And this turn is probably where I think I mess up a little bit more, because had I been more precise with the way that I ordered my curses, I could have survived for one more turn, which might have been all I needed to win the game. So I just go for Ice Spike here, and I go find a Bolt. Do I Shadow? I think I Shadow Shift twice here. Yeah, he had the Bolt regardless, so I was just boned. But I thought that this play coming up right now is pretty cute, though. So I just try to fight through here. The entire thing here. So I just. The thing is here, right now, I should have cursed I should have cursed the, sorry about the coughing, sorry about that. I should have cursed the 5-5 instead. I usually me cursing like the 4-6 and all that. I should just go on to hardcore, try to kill up a body here. Which I ended up not doing, which meant I took like 3 or 4 more damage than I should, which I think might have been enough for me to not die to Bolt, and then again probably would have meant that I had a chance of popping up with Landrel, because when push comes to shove, I'm not too far off. I'm not too far off being able to survive right now, because I would have been able to firebolt this had I used all my curses correctly. Which meant obviously I would have been taking 10, and I had a way for him to kill this thing off. I would have died, and I would have been dead to dagger plus lightning bolt regardless. But again, it gives me, from my perspective, it gives me a chance of survival for just 1 more turn, which again might have been enough for me to turn the game around just due to the nature of this deck, right? Because of how stupid it can get. Yeah. So that's just me. It's kind of unfortunate for me. That's how the series ended. You don't think that want the bolt, you don't want fireball in deck? I think it's pretty good just to have to contain early game. Again, I have no clue how the list is supposed to build. I just net deck something, a lightning bolt, not fire. I don't know. It obviously won me the previous game. I'm not sure about that. Again, I just took a deck and ran with it because I really didn't have time to get a grasp of the meta. And this is how this. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. As you can see, you can follow me on the social links below, and I'll talk to you all next time. Peace out.